Hey guys, this is Ben West with Flippa here with another one of our featured listings for you today. A really great content site that we're going to go over in detail through their listing itself. It's called Appamatix. The owner is based in Italy, but definitely something that can be run from around the world. So give me 1 second while I share my screen and we will hop to it. Here we are. This is the listing live on Flippa. You can see right up at the top, of course, the asking price, $27,500. Well worth it, I must say. Let's go through it real quick. As you know, I always like to see who's selling it right up front. Got this guy, Paolo, fully verified. Someone you can trust. So let's get on our way. What we have is an AdSense website, content site. Nearly 6.7 million sessions over the past 2 years. Really, really popular. And what is it? It's a leading source for anything app related. Let's just actually jump to it really quickly before we look at their numbers, just so you can see what it is. Here's Appamatix.com. So as you can see, kind of your classic site with all sorts of information on apps here and there, how to fix errors, 7 active hours alternatives to get your money. Best poker app to play with friends and strangers. Sounds fun during these moments at home. But yeah, a lot of how-tos, a lot of listicles, a lot of content on apps, I believe it's both Android and iOS, so kind of all over the place. Anyhow, let's jump back to Flippa and see these numbers because they are crazy. 6 years old. Something we always love to see with the content site is age. That's when those SEO rankings really start to creep up the charts. So these guys, it says it's 6 years old, must be 6.5, almost 7 years old at this point. And the most, favorite number we like to look at in net profit, $573 per month. Not bad. And we'll see that, right here, $350 of that is just verified AdSense revenue. And we'll look through this a bit more detail. I'm assuming the rest of that is coming from other ad sources, if not guest blog posts. The numbers are huge, 253,000 page views a month, and that's coming with over 200,000 unique visitors. So they are pulling in a ton of individual people, probably looking at just 1 or 2 articles, given that kind of difference between the uniques and the page views. But that's fantastic. You can see there was kind of this weird dip, looks like November, December, January in the financials. But I spoke to Paolo, and it's actually quite justifiable. It's actually when everything was migrating to their site from the old owner. So it wasn't really a dip, it's just they had kind of a loss in the analytics during that moment. But everything, according to him, has been pretty much on site, on traction. So I'm sure if you ask him a bit about that, he can send you some details and you can jump into it with him. Of course, on a content site, one great thing I like to see is that organic search number, 92% of traffic coming organically, 5.5% direct, essentially nothing coming from social, essentially nothing coming referral. These are organic traffic. This is not paid ad spends. This is just a 6-year-old site with, as we will see down here, almost 600 posts. So they're just kind of getting everything through search. The country spread is pretty wide as well. Understandably, 1.4 million coming from the US. This is an English-based website, so that makes sense. 400,000 from India, 300,000 from the UK, Canada, Australia. They really are a global site, which is great to see as well. Probably some content that can be built across different sites. I'm sure with mobile apps, there are different articles that can be written based on geographies. So real opportunity there. Again, you'll see here this dip, but I would just ask Paulo about that. He has a pretty reasonable explanation. As this is not something they started, this is something that he actually acquired. So there was a bit of a lag in the analytics there when they transferred over. As it says, he bought the website this past February, lost some rankings, but he's fixed up some errors and he's changed it around, optimized it even more. Something that he'd probably recommend you to do even more yourself if you take this over. Keep that content coming. It's got 600 posts already, but you can always do with more. As I mentioned above, he's using 2 different ad revenues. So that's how he's getting that $350 from AdSense, and I guess the remaining is through AdClip. And as he says, a great opportunity for Amazon associates because those have slashed their commissions. So he's making everything through AdSense and AdClip, not dealing with those cuts that Amazon sent through. Simple answers here. Why are you selling the business? Raising money for another business. Pretty noble answer, something we see quite often. But you know, something I really like. It's got that age on it. It's a really nice looking website. As I said, it does handle iPhone, iPad, Android, everything on here. Huge opportunity for someone to take this over, either continue creating content themselves or outsource that through Upwork, Fiverr, or whatever your outsourcing choice is. Maybe you've got your own team of content producers already that work with you on other sites, and this would be amazing for your portfolio. Already doing around $600 a month and totally room to grow. As I always say, take a look, do your due diligence, start a conversation, and get busy. Cheers, guys.